Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So today I want to talk about Primaris Blood Angels, specifically Primaris Dante and Primaris stuff like Sanguine Regard and all that kind of jazz. If you haven't watched my previous video about the Dark Angels lore update, they are now in the Deathwing and they are now in the Ravenwing as well. Some of the most secretive organizations you could probably get into because, you know, with the fall and all that kind of stuff, Dark Angels being very trusting, they were a bit wary of the Primaris, but now the Primaris are starting to ascend into those positions. Of course, business-wise, when you look at it from a non-law point, it's just business. It's complete business. I see within the next couple of years, Primaris getting, you know, bikers and all that kind of stuff, so it's even more integrated into that kind of stuff. This is just like the foundation blocks that we're seeing at the moment for the rest of the stuff to be built on. Anyway, let's jump in and let's get talking about Dante and some of the other cool ideas for Primaris in the Blood Angels. So the big thing for me about Dante, about Primaris, I know there's a split debate on here. Some people don't want Dante to become Primaris. Some people think he wouldn't survive if he crossed the good old Rubicon, as they say. I think Dante would survive because Dante has the most powerful thing that you can have on your side when it comes to fighting monsters, demons, anything that is, you know, trying to kill you, and that is a writer. Dante has the advantage of being one of the main characters, if not the main character, when it comes to the Space Marines. Just like Sigismund, I personally felt was the best Space Marine during, you know, the Horus Heresy / Great Crusade. Dante, I personally think holds that mantle in 40k because it's bloody Dante. You know, he's the oldest living Space Marine, technically not in a dreadnought suit. You know, Bjorn is technically the oldest, but, you know, dreadnoughts don't really count in this subject. But yeah, he's very, very powerful. He's wise, he's strong, he's battle hardened. This guy is like, yeah, he's the greatest Space Marine that we have at the moment. Now, in the article about the Dark Angels, it mentioned the 5th Company Captain, Balthasar, basically dying, and he was replaced by someone else who also was mortally wounded. But instead of being entombed in a dreadnought because he was too far gone, they instead chose to upgrade him to a Primaris Marine instead, which completely confused me. But a lot of people pointed out to me that if I read the Spears of the Emperor book, it goes into more detail in that. I haven't read that yet because I'm currently listening to Soul Hunter. Then I'm moving on to some of Chris Wraith's stuff after that, but I'll eventually get around to it. But it was explained to me a little bit better. So yeah, they basically upgrade you to savior. That is the good old motto of what they're doing. But this left me with a strange thought in my head, is that if you are upgraded to a Primaris Marine, as it's shown which that guy did, who become the new 5th Company Captain, and of course the Spear of the Emperor guy, it's basically like a new lease on life. You are rejuvenated. Sorry, bloody, I can't even say the bloody word. And it's like a new life. It's like you becoming a Space Marine over again. Well, that's how I see it anyway. So if Dante was to get this treatment and he was to be upgraded to a Primaris Marine, is that like basically resetting the clock on Dante? Of course, I'm not saying he's going to be going back to like a young guy or anything like that, but when it comes to his power, his strength, you know, just his whole fatigue as a whole, does that mean it's just going to basically one-up him and just restart from zero again, so he becomes like the Dante of in his days in the Prime, where he was like complete, like, I'm not saying like he's not beast mode now, but, you know, of course a younger Dante is going to be more better than this older Dante that we have now. So I'm wondering, if you get upgraded to the Primaris thing, is this what happens to you? Is this what could happen or potentially happen to Dante? Now, personally, again, I wouldn't mind if he got upgraded. I actually see it as it's the only way forward for Dante now. And business-wise, GW are going to be doing this. We've already seen it with Shrike. We've seen the Iron Father. We've seen Calgar. We've seen Tigurius. I'm sure we're going to see it with other members of other chapters like Tucson, Lysander, and bloody whoever else I've missed, but it's happening. It's the way of the future, and that is a lot of people get quite mad at that, but it's just the way it's going. It really is, and you know, it's you just have to embrace it, or you have to turn to chaos and you have to purge it all. It's, you know, one of those two options. Now, when it comes to upgrading him and stuff like that, let's say, for example, let's just say, for argument's sake, they upgraded Dante. Okay, Dante has been upgraded to a Primaris Marine. How will they handle his model? First off, I personally wouldn't like him to have the Phobos kind of effect. You know, like we have in Shrike. Shrike has kind of a Phobos lower half and an Intercessor top half, which is kind of strange, but it works in a way for the old Raven Guard thing. For me, when it comes to Dante, because Dante, you know, has a jump pack and stuff like that, and he's like basically the golden angel and stuff, let's say. I would actually like them to just do like a new version of the armor, maybe just for that character, like a special type of version. I wouldn't like to see any of the infiltrated bits on him, or like the light armor, let's say, I'm doing air quotes here, the light armor of the Space Marine stuff put on him. I would like him still to have that kind of sanguine-esque look to him, not just added some of those like knee sock armor things and stuff like that. So I'm hoping, just like they did with Calgar, where they gave Calgar like a special form of Gravis armor. I forgot what it's called now. It's called something in something. It's called blood. I'm not too sure. But I would like Dante to also get that same kind of treatment, and look special and look nice and just look like an upgraded, bigger version, better kind of sculpt. Of course, he has to have his axe, he has to have his death mask on. Actually, I would really like a face option, but I doubt they'll ever do that or anything, because he is supposed to be really, really old underneath his mask. Again, Primaris treatment, does that make you look young again? Again, that's another argument for probably another time. But when it comes to it, he definitely has to have his axe, and that'll be awesome as well, because I think that would be the second official axe on a model, because the Primaris Space Wolf Lieutenant has an axe, if I'm not mistaken, which was part of that, is it Shadow something set against the Eldar, that was set on Vigilus. So yes, that is another melee option for Primaris Marines. Now, when it comes to organizations within the Blood Angels, there's only two I can think of off the top of my head, and I'm going to start with the most controversial one, and that is the Death Company. Now, there's a lot of people saying that, and they're right at saying it, by the way, I completely agree, that Primaris are taking away a lot of the flavour from these certain chapters, from like the Dark Angels, the Space Wolves, the Blood Angels being the Death Company, since there's no Black Rage present in the Primaris at the moment. A lot of people saying, "Oh, that's crappy." This is the part of the Blood Angels. This is the part of their character. It's the part of their curse. It's it's something to be a Blood Angel when you at the end of everything you fall to the Black Rage. I completely agree. I am 100% on board with that. But what I've got to argue against that with the Primaris is that they haven't fallen yet. That is the big thing yet. I think GW will eventually make Primaris into Death Company, but not just at this time. This time they're being like put on the shelf to be like, oh, these super duper cool guys, there's nothing wrong with them. But I do think that the Black Rage will work its way through the Primaris gene seed, and it will take effect in some time, and soon enough we will have our first version of a guy who just loses himself to the Black Rage. A Primaris, eyes go black, he's why did you betray us, Horus, and stuff like that, and then just completely goes psycho, and then they put him in the Death Company. It is got to happen. I believe it 100% that it will happen, and when it does happen, I think it will be glorious, because then there you go, we've got Primaris Death Company. Bloody hell, imagine rules wise a Primaris Death Company, 2 wounds and stuff. What in the Emperor's name could he bring upon the battlefield? That it will be very, very tasty. And the next organisation is, of course, a Sanguine Regard. Now, these guys are completely opposite from the Death Company. They're all golden, they're glorious, they look fantastic, they have wings. It's like basically the top tier position you can get if you're a Blood Angel. And again, they look fantastic. They all have jump packs and stuff. The armor, like I mentioned, looks amazing. And when you place these chaps on the tabletop, your eyes are instantly drawn to them because how special and how sheer brilliant they look. The sculpts are a bit old at the moment. Like back in the day, again, they were the dog's bees. But at the moment, comparing it to some of the newer sculpts and stuff, they are showing their age. This is why I do think that the Primaris will eventually be accepted into these ranks, and hopefully soon enough we'll start to see Primaris Sanguine Regard as well. It'd be awesome to see what they actually do with them, because again, these guys have jump packs. Please do not give them like the Phobos armor or anything like that. Like craft like new kind of suits for these guys and make them really stand out, make them look really, really special. Of course, keep all the wings, keep all that, you know, that decorative art about them, make them just look like a walking magnificent art piece of golden clad ceramite on the battlefield, because that is what you want when you know, we want to deploy these guys, and that's what you want when you want to look at these guys. You want to look at the sheer awesomeness of the model. I'm trying to think, is there any other things Primaris could bring to the Blood Angels? Like, we've gone the Sanguine Regard, we've done the DEFCON there. That's really it, really. Like, I know they have like the apothecaries and stuff like that, but that's nothing like, you know, big, or, you know, organization wise, like the Death Company and the Sanguine Regard or anything like that. But if I've missed anything out, please let me know in the comment section. I definitely think Primaris will be happening with these guys. I think it will be happening with Dante. It's just all about timing and stuff. Maybe it's got to all start coming with the next Blood Angel Codex, because I'm sure that is on the horizon sometime next year. The Space Marine Codex has just dropped, and I know a lot of Blood Angel players, Space Wolf and Dark Angel players, Death Watch and Grey Knights, all you guys all juggled together, are now awaiting your next version of these codexes, because we get a lot of cool things in ours which you don't have access to. So I'm sure enough that within time you'll get yours. I'm going to go out and say at least within the next 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 6 months, just to be sure that the Blood Angels, Dark Angels and Space Wolves will have their new version of the Codex, and hopefully there'll be a bunch of new units in there, Primaris units upgrading certain characters and stuff, and, you know, we can get all the awesome stuff from it. Right, that is me done for another video. Thank you for coming, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you've got any thoughts, feedback, anything like that, leave it in the comment section below. Are you for Primaris Dante, or are you against Primaris Dante? Tell me what you think, and we'll have a nice little talk about it down there. See you now, and bye-bye.